Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back in the studio again with another great episode for you. And you already know who I got with me, the ultimate, the living legend, Mr.
Toya. You know, I don't know. That's still my favorite one.
It
so
is,
far,
bro.
man.
It's so smooth.
Yeah.
Like, you can't beat that. I don't think you can beat him. Like, the Swahili was beautiful. I love the Asian, but
Oh, shoot, I added a new tag too. Like, I recorded one of my students from work.
Yeah.
And she says hi and bye in a certain way, like hi, bye. So I put that on the 3 beats that I just dropped recently. Mm-hmm. It's just like a nice intro exit type thing, you know what I mean?
Yes. So please make sure to check out Mr. 13's beats, fire as always. Make sure you guys always check them out. And before we dive into the episode, I have to shout out our sponsor, the Immortal Barbershop, Barber Lounge and Shave Parlor. My apologies. Make sure you guys go check out their deal that they're having, and it ends April 1st. If you book your appointment on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday before April 15th, my bad, April 15th, not April 1st. If you book your appointment before April 15th for Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you will get $10 off your next haircut. And something I just found out is that they actually have an app. So you might actually want to go check out the app and book it there. Just go to your Google, wherever your Apple Store it is, tap in Immortal Crafts, and they'll pop right up. So make sure to download the app, get your appointment with them today, and tell them that the Just Keep Swimming podcast sent you. You might save a little more money on it.
Me?
Yeah, you can't beat that, right?
Nope.
Yes, sir. Cool. So now while we're doing that, let's jump straight into the episode. We have another amazing episode coming for you guys, the best episode yet, because every episode coming is the best episode yet. Practicing that speech, practicing my speech, you know. So coming to the microphone, we have a very, very special lady in our lives, our wonderful, amazing auntie, Miss Toya, Miss Montoya. Toya, how we doing today, auntie?
Hi.
How you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? A little nervous?
No, I got it.
You got it? Yeah, I know you a thug. You got this, you know. Based off the topic we're going to talk about today, you shouldn't be nervous at all, you know. You're a beast. So Toya, I know that you're actually a part of the armed services, correct?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So I just want to have a little conversation about what it is to be about in the armed services, a little bit of the mindset, and, you know, of course, learn about you and your experiences in the armed services. So I feel it should be nothing that you can't answer in this interview, but you already know. If you can't answer it, let us know.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Cool. So first and foremost, I want to say welcome home. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, we're glad to have you back. You know, how's it feel to be home?
It feels great.
Feels good.
Gone for a while, so it feels good.
Yes, ma'am.
In a lit car too.
I know, right? The brand new Benz outside, sitting on chrome, just shining. I was trying to roll up in the light with the sun was just reflecting. I couldn't see nothing as I was driving. I was like, oh my gosh, brand new Benz. Yes, ma'am. So first question for you is what part of the armed services are you in exactly?
So I'm in the Army National Guard.
Okay. So what's the difference between like the Army National Guard and everybody else, I guess?
So I guess most people are more familiar with the reserves.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're kind of like that, but we're under the state.
Okay.
So we're basically part-time. We serve pretty much 1 weekend a month and about 2 weeks in the summer.
Oh, okay.
And so we get to live the best of both worlds versus, you know, just being strictly active duty.
All the time.
So we have our civilian life and then we have our military life.
Got you. Understandable. So that can lead my next question is, what made you want to get into the National Reserve or National Guard?
Yeah, National Guard.
National Guard.
So I actually only joined for school.
Really?
Like I didn't really even think about like actual military. Like I remember when it came to our high school trying to recruit, and I was too weak to like do like the pull-ups and like the push-ups and stuff that they'll try to have you do. But I never really thought about joining the military until one of my coworkers at the time, so I had already graduated high school, and I knew I wanted to go to college, but I was too poor. Right. So
understandable.
I ended up going to work, and then I got stuck in the work cycle, and I was like, I got to get back to school. One of my coworkers joined, and she told me about it. She told me that they pay tuition. Full ride, full tuition.
Yeah.
And I went and spoke to a recruiter, and I feel like I was in the next day. It happened so quickly.
Really?
But I don't regret it at all. It was the best decision I ever made for myself. But it was originally for school, to get a degree for free. And then after I finished my initial contract, which was like 6 years, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just stay. I'm gonna stay in. I kept extending it by 1 year. And then over time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just stay in the military. This is like the best safety net anybody can ever have.
Right.
And then being, like I said, guard, you're able to still live a civilian life. So
you still do regular stuff at the same time.
Life,
you still have to serve too.
I was gonna say, what were you gonna study?
So I was supposed to be studying engineering because that's what I went to high school for.
Which part? Like
engineering,
electrical engineering.
Okay.
That was that. I had I did general engineering in high school, and then I decided to go electrical engineering. I felt like that spoke to me more, and so that was what I originally was supposed to do. But after joining, going to boot camp, and then getting back, I immediately had to get, I was deployed. So I was like, oh, wait, I thought I was supposed to go to school. They got me. It's funny because, my recruiter actually told me that because they had, this benefit where you won't have to get deployed, I think, for the first couple years. You could just strictly focus on school. But he ain't put that in my contract.
Oh, wow.
So, I found out it wasn't in my contract, and we were deploying immediately after I had finished basic training.
Oh, wow.
But they were like, yeah, we need you. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So, but it was good that happened.
Right.
So, because I was a really good deployment that I was able to get experience. Sorry.
No, you're good.
You do what
you want to do. Be yourself.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So then, so now that means that my next question is then how was going to the military with that big gap from after school? Because a lot of people, when we always see it, we always think that, you got to be 18 when you go to the military to get that true effect. Because people my age, I feel if I go to the military right now, I'm gonna get ran into the dirt. I'm out of shape now. My body's not in its prime no more. So I was wondering, what type of difficulty did you have with that?
So I thought I was gonna do well because I was active. I had played sports and I'm healthy. I was healthy. Well, I'm healthy now, but I was really healthy back then. So I was like, oh, this shouldn't be too hard. No, I was not prepared. It was really hard, and I was like I said, I was weak. So I could barely do push-ups. I wasn't as great at running as I thought I was, but boot camp really does, basic training, it kicks your butt, and you end up getting into shape, so. Yeah.
And is it into shape is it just all physical, or is it mental as well?
Oh, both.
Both,
yes.
I was gonna say, they have to break you down and build you back up.
Oh, yeah. I was my first night, I wanted to go home. I was like, I can't do it. I cannot do it.
Real.
It was physically draining, mentally. They really try to break you down. But if I was able to get through it, then that means anybody, because I'm telling you, I was a weakling when I went. Yeah. And so, it's all for a reason. They try to, push you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Make you
so
grow.
As long as, and it tests your mental stability as well. And so, it worked out. It's doable. Just know it is doable.
Right. It's very plausible.
And you will get in, if you're not in, good physical shape at the start, you will be by the end. So they will get you into shape.
Right. So so it's not like you have to walk in shape. They will work you to the fullest. Pretty much.
Yeah. And resiliency too. That was one of the biggest things that I had learned as well. So,
Understandable. I love it. So another question I have for you then is it like the movies? We see the stuff in the movies where, the guy he's in trouble, so he has to go peel all the potatoes all night long, or they're sleeping and out of nowhere they get woken up at 4:00 in the morning. Is it really like that?
Yeah.
Really?
It's really like that.
Is it worse?
Is it worse, or
the
movie sugarcoat?
Yeah, they'll mess with you, So with the guard, once you get your date to ship to basic training, you basically kind of drill and get prepared for basic training.
Okay.
So I had a few months of doing that, and that is all they did, was just to mess with us. They'll wake us up, in the middle of the night. They'll give us these they're imitations of the M16, we call them rubber duckies, I believe is what they're called. And so we had to sleep with them, right? Because you can never, basically trying to teach you never, be without your weapon.
Right.
And so they'll come around and try to see if they can pull it away from you. And they'll just do little stuff, and they will, it's called smoking. They'll smoke you, which basically they'll punish you through physical fitness.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it's for any reason. You can like breathe wrong and you're going to get smoked. And I don't even remember. I don't even remember who did what. And that's another thing. They do a lot of mass punishment too sometimes.
Oh, his whole squad gets it.
Somebody did something, so he punished the whole company. And I had never experienced anything like that in my life. Still, remember, I thought I was in physical shape because I did, sports and stuff, and I was healthy.
Right.
No, that one drill where he smoked us in it. It was probably 15 minutes. It wasn't even that long.
The smoking.
Yeah, it's like doing like flutter kicks and push-ups and just back to back.
Right.
I came home and the next day, like I could not walk. Like I had to crawl to my bathroom. I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it in basic training. Like I legit thought that's what's gonna happen every single time. But like your body adapts and it's just your muscles stretching and basically like yes. But no, you get punished for the smallest things. Like I said, it's a mental push. So anything you do, they'll like smoke you. So it is sometimes like the movies where you're doing menial things. Like I've heard stories of trimming grass with like scissors.
Really?
I've never seen it personally, and we never had to do that, but we had to do little stuff like that. Like they called it beautification. So it's basically doing like lawn care and stuff like that.
Right. Like cleaning the whole car with a toothbrush type deal or something like that.
Yeah. Well, we never did. I've never experienced that. I've never seen that. But
I just kind of made it up.
They do like you do have to like do chores and clean and stuff, and sometimes it's like you don't have the proper tools basically to make it work.
You got this work.
So
what you got.
and you're just like, this is really dumb. Like, what is going on?
So do you feel like a lot of things that you learned in boot camp actually did translate over to the field pretty smoothly? Or
the field, what do you mean? Like out in, like when we're doing trainings and stuff like that?
The stuff from training transition 100% to what you guys actually have to do when you're deployed. That's where
yes. So my job actually, so I'm a signal officer. So you basically go through similar like infantry training almost. So we get the basics, shooting, land nav, and things like that. So obviously my job type, I'm not really doing stuff like that.
Right.
Like I'm not going out bang bang shooting stuff and kicking down doors. I'm pretty much at the desk.
Right.
But it does help. Like when my first deployment was in Afghanistan, so all the trainings that we did do, that is something you do need to know because, like I said, my job was easy when I was enlisted. So I was enlisted first, and I was still in a signal company. I was in a maintenance. So basically, I rarely ever left the base or the fob.
Right.
But there were times where I did go outside the wire. And those are when you were realizing, like, oh, okay, so this is the training that they give you. This is real life.
This is real life, right.
This is real life. So, yes, it is helpful.
That's
so
good.
They do train you for the real world.
That's good.
But the amount of times that I would actually have to use it, not so much based off my particular job.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. So what does your job actually do then?
So I'm a signal officer, so it's communications, satellites, So,
okay. Yeah.
So, but I'm more on the management side since I'm an officer. So.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, I don't know all the military lingo, so I'm trying to break it down as I can.
I realize that. Yeah, I gotta speak. Yeah, comms.
Yeah,
I'm comms.
Got you. I truly understand.
Or the management of comms.
Got you. So you just pretty much communication.
Yeah.
Okay, understandable. That makes sense. That sounds pretty cool though. Is it stressful behind the desk as in the field, or not really?
No, I mean, you're working with people, so you're managing millions of dollars of equipment and personnel. So of course that can be a little stressful, especially if you're deploying, because you are, responsible for those soldiers. So that part can be a little bit stressful. But as far as like actually being on the equipment and the technical aspect, I'm not on the equipment like that. So
Got you.
That part is not as stressful.
Got you.
And I earlier mentioned that I was supposed to go to school for engineering, but I actually got my bachelor's in hospitality management. So I completely pivoted away from technology. So I'm starting over, basically back into the IT field or the technology fields.
Right.
So it's different since I'm not working directly on the equipment. I'm more on the managerial side.
Right.
But I'm trying to change that because now I want to go cyber. So yeah, I'm trying to be more smart because I'm actually not that smart.
You are. You're very intelligent.
Like not technically smart.
No, you are intelligent. Don't say that. You are very intelligent. We don't do that negative talk.
I'm not very technical.
We don't do that negative down talk with Just Keep Swimming podcast. I'm sorry. Yeah, but cool. So any questions, bro? Nope. Cool. All right. So let's start diving a little deeper then into everything that you do pretty much, or just the experience of being in the National Guard. So one of my first questions is how do you prepare yourself mentally to go overseas?
Well, you have to make goals for yourself. Like I tried to think about it as like a stepping stone and a learning experience, and basically set goals to keep myself on track. Because obviously, I'm in a position where it doesn't really affect me that much because I'm unmarried, I don't have a family. But majority of soldiers or members have families and jobs, good paying jobs. And,
right.
So it's hard for them to just stop everything and then go deploy for 9-12 months and leave their family behind. It wasn't that hard for me, so it's easier for me to adapt, and I had goals that I wanted to set. So, financially, after becoming an officer, I wanted to get experience. So for me, it wasn't that hard, and that's how I kind of mentally prepared myself to do it.
No, I love that. So
yeah.
you just set goals, and then now you just know what to keep with, pretty much, or where your aims are while you're out there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, my purpose.
Yes, I love it. And then, what are some of the biggest shocks you got when you went overseas?
Well, obviously there's the culture shock, dealing with different cultures. My first deployment, we went to Afghanistan. I was, how old was I? I think I was like 21, 22, maybe. And I had never been outside of the country before. So that obviously was like different. That deployment, I was kind of nervous. I was scared. But the second deployment, I went to Kuwait, and Kuwait wasn't bad at all.
Okay.
The biggest shock though was the drivers. The driving is insane. Like, they put Vegas to shame. Like, they are wild. Oh my God. I had my chances of dying was higher of getting into an accident than anything else. Like,
really?
The driving is horrible. Like, oh my God. Yeah, that was probably the biggest shock. Was just like, and they do not care. They will cut you off. They will go 150 miles, like just flying down the road. And so that was shocking. I was like, what on earth? Right. But but it was really hot, so it reminded me of Vegas a little bit. But obviously the culture, the people, but which I love though. I love learning about different cultures.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably beautiful.
So
free travel.
It was great. The experience was great for me. I was just like, all right, this is cool. Even if it's a bad experience, I was just like, well, it's some nice experience. But I never actually had a bad experience. Right. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good, and that's good. You always see the light in whatever you're at. So that's beautiful. I really love it. So then, while you are like overseas, what do you do to, I guess the word I want to use, entertain yourself? Keep yourself mentally focused, not just lost in the whole, I'm here to work mindset. Like, what do you guys get to do to entertain yourself?
So this past deployment in Kuwait, I was on a really good base. So we had a lot of amenities. That's one of the things that the military affords you anyway. Like, they'll have like MWRs, and like they make ways to bring comfort to you. So it was like, movie nights, game nights. They'll have like an actual center that's, to do fun stuff. Right. Salsa nights, that was like my favorite. Like, we'll have like salsa nights. So it was really easy to find that comfort. But then again, I did have the ability to live on a nicer base, but if it's obviously different for someone who's in an isolated base where they don't have, they could barely get good toiletries. So I don't complain at all. I never had any issues, but it wasn't hard to find something fun to do at all.
That's really cool. I loved it, and I was always wanted the entertainment because I was watching Jarhead. I think all they could do was play football, really, and that was it.
Yeah, they'll have like fields where you can play sports and stuff like that. So yeah, it was.
And then, so just curious, do like the locals treat you guys respectfully out there, or do you actually feel like a target out there? Or
not in Kuwait. No, not in Kuwait. We've been there for several years, so it wasn't bad in Kuwait at all. Whenever we would go outside, so I went during COVID, so I didn't even have a chance to go off as much.
All right.
But once it did die down a little bit, and we were allowed to go off and do like MWR trips, it was, normally actually the service was amazing. It's better than the States, in my opinion. Everybody was really nice. Obviously they could tell that you're military, but there was all kinds of different cultures in Kuwait, and there's like even American citizens that had been out there for years. They're contractors who have been out there for. It's so easy to live in Kuwait. Like everything's like in English. It's super easy to navigate.
That's right.
But if you can stand the heat, then you can easily live out there.
Was like a humid heat, I'm guessing, or
yes, it's like Vegas,
heat.
But add in the humidity.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
And the air quality wasn't that great either because you get the dust storms and just the air quality in general. But
humid desert.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, don't it?
Yeah. But living in Vegas, and we already see there's so many different kind of cultures anyway. It was the same in Kuwait.
Right.
There was really no big culture shock at that point for me.
Oh, quick question. You said MWR a couple times. What exactly is that? What does that stand for?
Morale, recreational, and wellness, I think. Yeah.
So it's just like a
abbreviation.
Time to relax and do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's tight.
That's really cool.
I didn't know that they.
Actually, let me look that up. That might be wrong. Hold on.
Yes, please, take your time. Yeah, no, I'm loving it, bro. Because as she's talking, I'm sitting here like, oh man, there's so many different terms. It's like
sorry, I keep forgetting to not.
Oh no, you're fine. I like it. I do it at work all the time. I just sitting there talking in code sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Well, the pickup happened on this day, but the deposit I need that credit on debited on this. Oh yeah, I love it.
That's how I feel with music.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was watching y'all two work. Shout out to your boy. What's your name, brother? JT for sitting in with us, bro. I appreciate you for joining us. Yeah, y'all was having a conversation just now, and I'm like, the lingo y'all were just saying, I'm like, y'all just go ahead and keep talking, because all I hear is some 8 hertz. I'm like, okay, that's all I need to know.
It's like, even though it's still new to me and I'm learning it, I know what he said limiter. Oh, I know exactly where I keep that.
I love it.
That for real.
Go ahead.
So the Army Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Program, MWR, is a quality of life program that directly supports readiness by providing a variety of community, soldier, and family support activities and services. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's pretty cool because they will provide they have these buildings that are set up with internet cafes, snacks, and it's really great.
Right.
It really helps you, like I said, get that comfort.
Right.
So there are some MWRs that are really cool. They're set up really nicely.
Right.
They're like a recreation center. If that's the best way to.
No, that makes sense. Rec center. I love it. That makes sense.
I was gonna say, I just heard you mention community as well. Have you met any meaningful connections, especially in your military journey so far?
Like what? Wait.
Meaningful, interpersonal connections. Have you met a best friend that seems?
And I was just about to ask that. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Ever since I was I still talk to one of my battle buddies from basic. We're still on social media. Majority of the people that I hang out with now, or that people that I consider I would consider family, I met them in the military. Yeah.
Nice.
That's hard.
Yeah. It's really easy to get that close knit. Find that kind of relationship with people, and that's one of the best things about being military. You feel that exclusivity, and those bonds, because you feel like you are already part of this little tight knit club.
Right.
So the relationship is just you end up knowing keeping in contact with each other for ever. Yeah, you're making best friends.
Yeah, and I always looked at it. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but I always thinking about football like that, because it's you're going to battle together, so it's
Exactly.
I always felt, way off subject, but we always had a training camp before school started.
Yeah.
And then I always felt second school started, you already know I at least have 20 friends out here. Yeah. I don't know all these other people coming, but at least I know I hang out with the football squad. So
that's how I knew so many people in high school for me, because like when I'm going freshman year going into high school,
you gotta be at a month early.
Yeah, like shoot, it was 2-3 months early to do all summer practice 4 hours a day, and then I got bumped up to varsity before school started. So then I was cool with all the seniors, the juniors, sophomores, and the freshmen.
Right.
And it was, it felt nice having a family walking into high school, especially since it's a new experience.
Right.
So,
got it. I love it. So then now, how do you guys deal with teamwork out there? Like, do you have people on your team that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't be shit with this person because he's gonna drive me crazy? Like, it's still like regular humans out there? Or how's that?
Yeah, I mean, you're still like, yes, like you said, regular humans. It's, still an organization made up of people. So you're gonna have those moments where you're gonna meet people that you just absolutely do not agree with.
Right.
And you butt heads, and yeah, so that definitely has happened at every course of everybody's career in the military. But then also, obviously, on the other side is you do build really strong bonds with other people too. So
right, that family.
You just have to learn how to navigate it, because it's like any other organization where you have to go through that, storming, norming phase and things like that.
Understandable. So another one of my questions is, since we're talking about people, is how does the ranking system work? Because I know you guys have like officers, if we can talk about it. But I know you guys have like officers and stuff, so like, I don't know, I'm just confused on how like the ranking works, because I always have the mindset that if I'm a higher up in the rank than you, I can talk down to anybody. It's like truly like that, or? I
mean, it just depends on the climate of that particular unit or organization. Like, obviously there is rank structure. So you are going to have, like, for example, officers or senior enlisted who are basically in charge.
Right.
And then you'll have some who will use, that kind of style where they talk down to you and things like that. But the Army I can't speak for any of the other branches, but I can say for the Army, they do have programs in place where they're trying to cut down on that, because that has been obviously an issue over time. Like, that's the perception that people have.
Right.
Is, you're getting screamed and yelled at and treated like crap, just based off rank alone. So of course it is old school, so it's evolving and it is going in a better direction. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just curious. Have you ever dealt with any difficulties between the ranks, like somebody above you just talking down like that?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that extreme. Like, usually if it's in training and, like, for example, boot camp, then that's pretty normal. You expect that. But when you actually get to your unit and your actual your job and basically your family, you do still have to deal with that every once in a while. But again, it's about the climate. And like I said, the Army in particular has programs in place where they do try to protect or cut down on that kind of stuff, and we do like climate surveys where you can actually do surveys on your leaderships, so that they can find out, like, okay, what's going on in that particular unit, is people being treated with respect, find out things about sexual harassment and all kind of stuff like that.
It helps with the accountability for
yes,
sure.
Exactly.
Because I feel like you can get away with a lot of things just because you're higher than everybody else. Yeah.
And then the person don't want to say nothing either, because like, well, he's higher ranked, so I don't have the right.
Yes, and there are things in place that try to help prevent that. Now, of course, do things happen? Yes, we can all look online and see different instances of that, but that again, it's made up of people.
Yeah,
it's made up of people, but the Army does recognize that, and they are trying to combat that.
Right. So no matter where you are, egos will get in the way then. Deep. I love it. So perfect. So it's cool. So let's go ahead and go to my next question then. What was your biggest difficulty with joining the National Guard? Or what was your biggest difficulty that you experienced in the National Guard? Whether it's boot camp, overseas, whatever it is.
That's an interesting question, because it's
not a coach. My goal is to make everybody think at some point, so that's what I need.
the good things still outweigh any little thing that I can probably complain about. Like, I feel like if anything that I say, like, oh, this was the worst, it's still so minute to the opportunity and just the life that the military has given me in general. Like, I graduated with no debt. I got a free degree. You know, it's taught me so much. It's basically saved my life, to be honest. So it's like I can't even choose like one little thing because it would be something petty, like basic training. You know, when the drill sergeant basically smacked me across the face the first night there, and I cried all night. You know, it can be like that. But and then I can look back on it and be like, oh, I could totally go through boot camp again, and it'll be a breeze. Like, it changed me as a person. Like I said before, I was weak. I was, you know, the way I grew up, I was very introverted, quiet, like, and even though I'm still a little bit introverted, but I'm more assertive now. So I feel like the military did change my personality and gave me, you know, those personality traits that has made me a better person. So I can't even pick something, because anything that I'll pick will be just so small compared to the big picture and the great things that the military has afforded me.
No, I love it.
That's a beautiful outlook on it.
I was about to say that's a beautiful outlook, bro. The idea that, yes, there were some negatives, but the negatives just made me stronger and made me better. So I can't even say they were negatives.
Exactly,
It was
and
a good experience.
they don't outweigh the positives. It wasn't enough to make me want to get out. Obviously.
Stay longer. Stay longer, right?
I
want to sign up for another
course. As long as I
course.
possibly can. So, yeah.
So then, what are some of the positives then? Like you already said, they made you stronger. You know, they help you save money, stuff like that.
More assertive.
More assertive. What are the positives you got for us?
All of that. It's just a great safety net, especially now where the world is like super crazy, and every year is something different of what's going on. So, you know, there's so many resources out there, and just like the small benefits. Like, for example, you mentioned my car. You know, we got tax exemption waivers. I would never have been able to get that. I would have never gotten that car. I wouldn't have even looked at it if I didn't have that tax exemption. That saved me like $5,000 off of it. You know, and then obviously the education. Just the stability alone, like I said, that safety net. You know, and I don't really think of it for the prestige, but there is that little bit of it that does make you feel a little bit proud, and it does get you far. It gets you ahead. You know, just being a veteran in general, like preferences for jobs and you know, education. When I was overseas trying to go to UNLV, I was trying to apply. He waived a lot of the fees. He waived the GRE for me because I wasn't there to take it. You know, and it's little things like that. As soon as they see military or veteran, like, it just opens up so many more doors. And not to talk about it in a selfish way, but like it's true.
It's good.
Those are things that, you know, you get just by putting the uniform on. So it does give you that extra value that you just can't beat.
Yeah, no, you know what? I truly understand, because, you know, I knew a lot of people that definitely UNR, they graduated and they decided to go to the military after they graduated from UNR because their student loans be waived or whatever it is that they can get rid of. It'll start getting cleaned off their account, and they can give them a new slate. You know, so yeah, no, I truly understand it, because
the perks are great.
Yeah, no, I love it. Too late for me. Well, it's never too late, of course. It's never too late, but I'm a little fluffy.
They'll get you a shake.
Yeah, time and consistency, bro.
They even have like a program dedicated to helping people with for weight loss and stuff. So, you know, I'm telling you, like, there's so many perks and just amazing stuff that's out there, and I don't even know them all, but there's just like so much out there that all the services that you can get just for being military.
Right. No, I love it. I'm so glad you're sharing all this stuff with us, because, like, you know, for me personally, the only thing I thought it was, you sign up, they shave your head off, and then they, you know, like I said, throw you into the mud and major pain you for a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm loving all the perks and everything that's done for you. Like you said, definitely the confidence that it gave you. I think you can't pay a price for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can only earn that. So I think that's amazing. That's really amazing. So, so one of my last questions for you is I know you said that you kind of go between the service life and civilian life because you're National Guard. So is it hard to transition between that life at all? Or Like, what difficulties you have between that transition at all?
So, again, for me personally, since I don't have as many ties, like, being married with children, it's not hard for me in particular. And I like to use the military. Like, I like to be more on the military side, which is why I extended my deployment, because I was like, okay, I'm loving this active duty life, the pay and stuff like that.
Right.
But it is difficult for other members, and that I've heard and witnessed as well. The military one of the things that I've seen in particular for my organization is that, they train them so well. They give them certifications, in IT, and they train them so well that they go out and get really great jobs.
Right away.
Where it basically, it's a detriment to them to go to drill because they're losing money. Like, that was one of the examples that a few soldiers that talk about. They're just like, oh my god, like I could make more working, than coming to drill. So I can see where sometimes it is like difficult for certain members, because they once they get that training and those certifications and they get into a better job, because a lot of people who join pretty much just want to better themselves. They want a better job.
Right.
And I've seen that happen to where they're just like, oh, this is difficult.
Right.
But I think for, and then also the trainings too, like having to go to training for like 3-4 months, like, my lieutenant school was like 4 months. I obviously, again, it wasn't hard for me because it's easy for me to pick up and go anywhere. But for other people that are away from their families, far away, they feel like it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
But overall, I still feel like the National Guard is like, you still have the best of both worlds. You can still live your civilian life as well.
Right.
And then you dedicate a little bit of time to the military. So I don't complain, and not to say that anybody else complains, but there is a level of difficulty. And again, it's just about that mental agility, that resiliency, which the Army does try to train you in as well. And they understand, those difficulties with family and stuff like that. So it is a balancing act to be both.
So did you have any, so like you said, I know you said you didn't have any family difficulties, but did you have like any talk you out of it conversations? Like, do people try to talk you out going to the military, saying, oh no, you're making a bad decision?
No, because I didn't really, I didn't have anybody in my family that was military. So I didn't even have anybody that wouldn't understand. And I don't think I even really spoke about it. And because like I said, I joined to go to school, and I went and met with a recruiter, and I swear I feel like the next day I was in. Like, it happened so quickly that I didn't even have time to really process it myself. Because I look back on it and I'd be like, wow, I mean, it worked out for me, but I was like, well, dang, I actually did not sit down and really think about that. Like, it like really happened, which is, I'm glad it did. But yeah, no, I didn't have any family members. My mom, obviously, was probably one few people that knew about it, and of course she was worried, because she thought it was going to be too tough, or she didn't want me to get deployed and killed.
Yeah, exactly.
But she, for some reason, she was like, wait, maybe they don't deploy females, like, or maybe females don't have to do as much.
She started going back to those times.
That's what she thought. So she was just like, okay, well, all right, go ahead. And then when I got back from boot camp and deployed, she's like, wait, I don't understand. So she was like worried and confused. And I was like, no, yeah, we're just the same. We're gonna deploy. So she was probably the only one who probably was worried about it. But I think as she saw me change and become a better person, and she would see me in uniform, and obviously, like I said, again with the prestige, she became super, super proud. She'll call me her toy soldier, because like my nickname. My family, everybody calls me Toya, but she'll call me toy soldier sometimes. Yeah.
Toya soldier, that's a rapper name right there. Toya shoulder.
Yeah.
Bars, right?
Toy soldier, Toya shoulder.
Yeah, I love it.
Glock could beam you.
AR clean, okay. I love it, man. I love it. So I know that before we jumped into this, we talked about things that you aren't allowed to discuss. I don't want you to discuss them, but I kind of just want you to like maybe list some things that you weren't allowed to talk about because you are in the armed forces.
So the underlining thing that I was that I meant by that was, regardless of if I'm in uniform or not, I represent the military.
Right,
I represent the Army. So anything I say or any kind of opinion, I can't say like, well, no, this is my opinion. I'm not talking about them. Like, I don't mean it. I don't mean it as a spokesperson for the military. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Anything I say,
you represent.
I represent the military.
Right.
So of course I'm not going to say anything that's going to be detrimental to the military. Definitely not going to say anything detrimental to the president as the commander in chief. So I try to stay away from like those kind of topics and talking about any controversies, of course, because I'm not in that position to speak on it. There are certain personnel that's their job, that they can talk about that kind of stuff.
To do that, yes.
Right. So that was a big thing, which I wouldn't want to even talk about that anyway.
Right, yeah, that's boring.
Yeah.
And then, and then like, any other things like, just classified stuff, like not to say make it seem cool, like any top secret stuff, but like any details about my job or details about my deployment, like what did I do, like when I went to Kuwait, and I also went to Iraq as well. So any details of stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to talk about, because obviously that,
Okay. Yeah, and I was just curious. I just wanted to know, like, what are some things that we probably couldn't talk about that we didn't talk about?
Yeah.
So,
but the conversation didn't even go that way.
I mean, there's like little fun stuff. Like I could probably talk about, like, that was the first time I was able to like get on a helicopter. Like when I was in Iraq, that was like pretty fun. It was really cool.
What is your coolest experience?
Getting on that helicopter. Actually, I did. I was able to get on like one. I don't even know what kind of plane it was. Like I'm not into that. But like it was almost like a private jet. Like I was able to jump on one of a high-ranking officer was traveling, and I was able to jump in on their plane. So that was the first time I like flew on like a private jet. But the fun stuff to me was like the cool stuff, like getting on the helicopter, the convoys, except Iraq though, that was nerve-wracking. But so.
Have you seen a tank though?
I mean, yeah, like not in action, but
like in person though, like have you seen the actual vehicle of a tank?
Yeah.
How it is it cool?
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean,
it was cool.
like
it was cool. I think so. Like, I don't know the technical name of this particular gun. It's like I know the nickname was a 777. That's all I can remember. I could probably look it up, but it is like a huge like. It's not really a gun, but like I don't even know what it is.
Cannon or something?
Yeah, it's insane, and like. When they shoot it, like the ground will like vibrate. Like I remember one time I felt it in my chest. I was like, oh my God, that thing is powerful and scary, and it was so cool. Like the different, because I'm not into weapons either. Yeah. So all the different kind of weapons, like I can't even really list all of them, but like the shooting and stuff like that, of all these really cool like. I think it was like the SAW, I think is always calling it.
Oh yeah, I know exactly.
Or the 240 Bravo, I think, or something like that. So doing like the cool stuff that you'll see like in movies, like that part is like kind of like, all right, now that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so.
That's cool. That's cool. I love it. I'm glad you getting to experience everything, So so I'm guessing it still gives you that feel of like excitement, huh? Like you still get that excitement when you're doing this.
Yeah, where you're just like, I cannot believe I'm here right now. This is so cool. Like obviously that's not my day-to-day job, but like flying on that helicopter was pretty cool. It was so fun. I was able to take a video of it of us like lifting off. And there was another one that was in front of us, so it lifted off first. So I was like, "Oh my God, that's so freaking cool!"
I think I saw the Snapchat.
So cool, yeah.
That's cool. I love it, man. I love it. So let's go ahead and roll into our end game a little bit. Then, my first question for you is there any advice that you wish you could have told yourself before you joined the military or armed forces? Is there any advice you wish you could have told yourself?
Don't waste your time. Like, I feel like, so when I joined to go to school, but it took me forever to get my bachelor's. It took me like 10 years to cross over to the officer side. And I feel like I just wasted so much time. Like, looking back on it now, I should have just been, but that was like, there's personal things and stuff that I had, with that, But it's like, you know, get on your game. Like, make your plan. Like, now I'm like learning how to actually make goals and plans and stuff like that. But if I would have known that before, you know, I could be so much further in my career than where I am now. Now, obviously, it's never too late.
Right.
You can never, and don't ever look back on something being like, oh man,
don't regret it.
Yeah, because everything's a learning experience. But if I could go back and tell myself right before I joined, I would have, you know, I definitely would have still went on the enlisted side as something that I still would have done. Got my degree, didn't drag my tush, but actually, because like I became like a professional student. I think it took me like 5 years to get my bachelor's. Like, it was just crazy. But yeah, like, get on your game and, you know, push through and like really, because now, you know, being older and you got these super smart kids that are just like light years, like, you know, and yeah, that is definitely something I wish I could go back and change, is to just kick myself in gear and really appreciate and value. Like, I never, it wasn't that I didn't have value in it, but I didn't realize the gold that I had in my hands that I should have picked up and ran with, versus picked it up and then kind of like walked and then looked down and was like, oh wait, I have gold in my hand, you know? So I didn't realize that before, but yeah.
No, I think that's beautiful right there, you know. So just go back and realize the value of what you have right now, you know, because like you said, you could have slacked off and maybe not be where you are, you know. So I'm glad you actually did kick in the gear at some point, and you know, I salute you for sure, because you're doing great things. Yeah,
and not settle for a bare minimum. I should have pushed myself a little harder, I think.
Understandable.
Yeah, because now I'm older and trying to push myself harder, versus I could have done it before.
You was younger, a bit farther.
You know, when I was younger, thinking that I had all the time in the world. You do not have all the time in the world.
Yes.
You know, do what you got to do today and plan for tomorrow as well.
Amen.
But yeah.
Lesson learned. Understandable. And then my next question for you is where are you still swimming to, definitely in your National Guard career? Where are you still swimming to?
Where are you still striving for?
What's your goal still? Because you're on the Just Keep Swimming podcast, so we all know. That is my fault. So when I say that question, I always want to say, like, I'm on an island here, there's an island here, and we're swimming to. So it's like, what island am I swimming to right now? Because once I get to this island, I'm gonna jump back in the water and keep going.
Yeah. The dream never stops.
Yeah, because we keep swimming. So what island are you swimming to right now?
So still personal growth, I think. You know, again, going back to I need to push myself more, push myself out of my comfort zone, out of the box, think outside the box. I know I have it in me, but for whatever reason, I just, you know, don't give it 100 sometimes. Not even gonna lie, I really don't. Like, there's times where I'm just like, man, this, you just like literally just lay in bed and you're like, I don't even want to get up. You know, but that time that I wasted, that 24 hours, I could have been hitting the books, you know, because like I said, I'm trying to change my career to cybersecurity. You know, I could be, you know, doing that, going, working out, you know, doing anything that's self-development. So that's probably what that is. So obviously getting my degree, personal development, professional development. Like I said, I was a student for like 5 years. I was a full-time student, so I didn't even really work. I didn't have to work because my first deployment afforded me to be able to use the GI Bill. So I basically got paid to go to school. That's another cool little tidbit. Yes, I didn't even work. It was great. But now that I look back on it, I should have worked. So I realized like my resume isn't that great. You know, it's like little stuff like that where it's like, you know, professional and personal development, pushing myself to be better than what I'm accepting now.
What you used to be.
So
I love it.
Trying to swim to that self-realization, like what is my purpose and how can I, you know, get on the track for that and actually accomplish it.
I love it. I love it. Hey,
still learning, going through it.
Still every day.
And there's those days where it's just like, man, what am I doing? I don't even know. Like I'm so indecisive. Like I've probably changed my degree like 3 times.
Oh wow.
Like I said, I was supposed to go engineering, then I went hospitality, then I wanted to go to law school, and then this past year I was like, no, I just want to do cybersecurity. You know, like it's crazy. Like so.
No, I mean that's good though. I mean I don't see it as a bad thing because you're still finding out things that you like to do. You know, you're still learning about yourself.
You know, that's all well and great when like 10 years ago when I was still young.
I mean,
when you got that time in your 20s to do that. Oh no, edit that out.
Wait, which part?
Because I said in my 20s, so now obviously I'm basically saying my age.
We got you.
All right.
Never mind, it's okay.
Fine. They ain't gonna say that.
You're still young.
You be young.
Right, which is true. But like again, going back to my only regret is like, you know, that spending more of that time in my 20s trying to find myself and actually finding myself and pushing myself to find myself versus like just standing there confused and thinking that it's just gonna come one day instead of actually going for it. And now I'm in my 30s and it's like, you know, I actually wasted a lot of time and realizing that now. It's like, okay.
I mean, I look at it as though, you know, same here, because, you know, I went to school for marketing. Only reason I thugged it out because I wanted to be a good example to you. You know what I'm saying? You, the brothers and sisters, but at the same time, it's like, I went and got a degree that I'm not even using right now.
Yeah.
You know, and I wish I would have stopped and be like, you know what is going on in the environment right now? Where's the next growth? Like, where I should go do computer engineering, or maybe I should do that. Because there's been times in college where I was like, I should probably switch up.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I came too far. I don't want to waste this time. I waste it. So, trust me, I wish I would have stopped sometimes. Like, man, let me switch curves real quick because maybe this is going to give me what I want to be. So I salute you on that. The idea that you had the confidence in yourself to say, you know what, I can stop and go pick up something new. But a lot of people don't have that in them.
I feel like that's the biggest goal out of everything, whether you find yourself or not, because I think it took me to fail out of college. Well, I didn't fail, I dropped out, but it took all of those experiences up there, the reason why I dropped out and coming back here to restart, because I had to bank on myself. I had to believe in myself to get where I needed to go. So then after that, like, I mean, I'm still struggling. Everybody's still trying to swim, but like, I know I have that whatever in me, especially when I decide to actually apply it, that I could really do anything I want, whether you can do all hospitality, engineering, cybersecurity if you really wanted to, but like, you probably dabbled it a little bit or thought about, but probably not my direction, but at least you took that step, got your feet wet a little bit,
and see if you even liked it a lot. You know? Like, you took the taste. At least you tried the food. A lot of people don't even try to taste it to see if they like it. Like, I don't eat that. I don't look good.
Yeah, the hospital. I probably would never use that degree though. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I would never ever use that degree ever, because working in the service industry is just the way my attitude is set up, I just won't survive. But I loved it because, like, one, again, thinking of it for Vegas in general, was the culture. You know, I love meeting different kind of cultures and stuff, and I love making things nice. So I thought it would be perfect for me. But then I actually got into it and like was working at hotels and was just treated like I couldn't. I wasn't gonna make it. So I probably won't be using that degree. But it's funny you had mentioned something earlier about the trends. You know, trying to find out what the trends are. So, you know, again, was in engineering. I already knew, because I went to a magnet school, I knew technology was the trend to go. Right. This is, 15 years ago. So it's like, I knew that, got into it, but again, I allowed myself to not push myself. Right. You know, I decided to go for something easier, which was hospitality. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think that I was going to be very good at engineering, because the way my brain processes numbers and then math and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, it's hard. It's too hard. I'm out. Yeah. Only to circle back, and I'm going back into basically information technology again, trying to go cyber, which is also very hard. Yeah. You know, but now I'm stronger, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna push myself. And, you know, really work at it. But it's like, again, like, I had already followed those trends and knew, you know, a path to go, and I didn't push myself through. Right. You know, so.
Yeah, no, I truly feel you on that one, because, like, me personally, I always had the dream that I wanted to be like some type of scientist or do something. Same. But then I was like, nah, I don't want to go to science in college. I'm being here. Every time you're hearing it, 8 years, you need 6 years. Dude, I'm like, I need 4 and out. And my thing was business. So business is 4 and out, but then turned out now I'm dang near a psychologist right now, and I'm just working with the mind. I'm just loving the science of the mind, and it's like, I wish I would actually just did what I had a taste for, not what I thought was going to give me the most bang for my buck.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm also doing that as well, because I think that's actually more of what I'm doing, is doing the bang for your buck, because I know, you know, information technology and cyber is going to be, that's where it's at. That's it, yeah. But like, still doing something that you love, like, because really, if I can go back, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Like, I said that forever. I know that's the most cliche thing to say, but even to this day, like, if I won the lottery, like I'm getting like a farm of animals and just like rescuing animals. No, legit, like, cause like I follow this guy on Instagram who literally, he's in Greece. He literally, that's all he does is save animals, like all kinds of them too, cats, dogs, goats, like all kinds of animals.
Oh wow.
And like if I didn't have to worry about money, like I would totally do, cause I love animals so much. So, you know, but you know, the life that we live, sometimes we can't do
exactly what you want to do.
Exactly what you want to do, and honestly, it feels weird to say that because that's actually not that true. You should be able to do whatever you want to do. You just put your mind to it and you put your energy into it. But I guess the way that my personality is set up, I'm a Taurus and I like stability.
Yeah. I was gonna say we're trained
stability.
like that.
Yeah, and so I feel like it's best to go on a different route that's gonna guarantee me a lifestyle that I would like.
Right.
And but then again, it's like whatever you're doing that makes you happy, that should be enough. I don't know why I don't know why I feel so different on both sides.
No, I understand where you're coming from though, because it's like, a lot of people are living this amazing life but they're not happy because they don't like what they're doing, and you have some people that they love what they do, but they ain't living a life. You know what I'm saying?
It's the balance of practicality.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like how you find that
true
balance.
balance, and that's what we're here for. Just keep swimming. Trying to figure out that balance and just swim to where we need to be. So.
Yeah, and I just gotta stay focused because I will have those times where it's like, okay, I know what I want to do. I know it's gonna make me happy, and then I'll start working towards it, and then it's like, yeah, I'm not happy anymore. It's so weird. It's just always like, how do I maintain that and keep motivated and keep on the path? So, but I think that's probably a different subject where it's just like the mental part of it. And that's where you got to really strengthen your resiliency.
Yes, exactly.
But this world is crazy. So there's so much going on to where you're just like, I don't even know. Nobody can predict like what's gonna happen next year. Like I said, every year something different
crazy
pops off. And it's almost like, what are we doing? Like, what is this hamster wheel that we're on right now? Like, how do I find my purpose in life that I can stick with and just be good?
Right. Exactly. And that's gonna cruise me through all of these other changes that's about to happen.
Right.
No, I truly feel you on that one, Toya, and I'm doing that right now. I'm working on that every day. So I love it.
It's scary sometimes, but
yeah, it is what it is. So very last question for you. Every guest that comes on the show, I ask them to leave a quote. Maybe something based off what we talked about today, or anything that maybe you learned in your military, or any quote that you have that you'd like to share. Please share it now. Take your time, look it up. No rush at all. Ouch. Y'all heard that?
Yes, I heard that.
On the microphone?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's my ankle.
Crazy crack.
I can't remember. Let me look it up because there's this one that I have recently. Someone recently had told me, and it went like, never accept no from someone who can't tell you yes, or something like that. It was something like that.
Never accept
no from somebody who can't tell you yes.
Wow.
I don't know who said. I don't even know. Like, I feel like somebody told me that.
That's deep. I'm sitting here trying to wrap that around my head.
Accept a no from somebody that can't tell you yes.
Yeah, I need the full context on that one.
Yeah.
I need the full quote on that one. I'm sitting here like, what if they can't say yes? But it is real adaptability.
Okay, apparently Eleanor Roosevelt said it, and it's actually never allow a person to tell you no who doesn't have the power to say yes.
Because then it's always a no, and then that's never really a...
Yeah, so it's like, don't reach out to that person then. If they don't have the power to say yes, don't even go that way.
So the reason why I know this one is because someone in my when I was deployed, again, I always get this in my head where I'm like, oh, maybe I can't do that, or something like that. And I think it was some task that I had to do, and I think I wasn't sure how to approach another. I was a subordinate to that person. I wasn't sure how to approach it, and I was like, oh, they might just say no anyway. Like, well, I don't even know why I'm going to waste my time. And I think someone told me that quote, and they're just like, you're stopping yourself, and that person doesn't even really have the power to tell you no anyway. Like, do what you got to do. Like, so.
I love it.
That was the first thing that actually popped in my head, but I couldn't remember exactly how it went. This is why I had to look it up.
No, I'm about to be
But never allow a person to tell you no who doesn't have the power to say yes. Yeah, and it was, you know, it was one of those situations where it's like, well, you can't stop me, actually. So it's like, why am I stopping myself?
Right.
Thinking that you can stop me.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's deep. I love it. I'm loving it. I'm gonna have to wrap my mind around that one for a minute. But yeah, Toya, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate everything you shared with us. I feel you dropped some knowledge. You really opened up my eyes to a whole different world that, like I said, all I see is in the movies and the video games. And it's cool to hear it coming from the mouth of somebody who's actually in it, you know? So I just want to say I appreciate you for your time today. Thank you so much. Welcome home again. Thank you so much for the services and everything you do.
Thanks.
And yeah, I'm just glad to have you back home. It's good to have you home always.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing episode.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like kind of nervous.
Oh, you killed it.
No,
You killed it.
we just hit an hour of great content.
Yeah. Bro, appreciate you again always for joining us. You know what I'm saying? Great engineering, great beat in the background. Gotta love it. TJ? JT. Oh, so close. JT, I appreciate you joining us, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had an engineer sit in with us today. So make sure you guys check out JT's Instagram. We'll have it in the link in the bio, so make sure to check out his IG and everything. Everybody out there listening today, I hope you guys learned something. If not, Toya, you taught me something for sure, so I appreciate the conversation. Any questions, comments, concerns, make sure to hit us up on Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok, or you can send us an email at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. Make sure to get your deal with Immortal Crafts. The special ends on April 15th. Remember, if you book your appointment on either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday before April 15th, you get $10 off. Also mention the podcast, you might get a little bit more discount. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, a wonderful afternoon, a blissful evening, and remember, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Go ahead and say it, Toya.
Oh, say it. Oh.
How you want to say it? What happened?
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming. All you gotta do is swim. Oh, swim. Paddle, bitch.